What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, man? This is Eric Smith with Universal Thought Podcast. This is our official um, first episode. So, you know, I got to give it up to myself. You get what I'm saying? Something I've always really wanted to do. This is just like an intro to, what's yet to come. Man, I'm proud of myself, to be honest with you. I'm really proud of myself. And I should be. Everybody should be. If you've accomplished something that either most people thought you wouldn't be able to accomplish, or you probably didn't even think you could accomplish it yourself. Man, once you get it accomplished, you should be proud of yourself. And it's just another avenue, just a kind of a something I wanted to do to push other things, create another lane for myself, you know. So it's really something that I've been wanting to do. And I study podcasts, I listen to podcasts all day. I honestly don't even listen to music no more. Like all I do is listen to podcasts all day, while I'm at the gym, while I'm in the car, while um, I'm in my room. If I'm working, if I'm doing anything, cleaning, I'm listening to podcasts all day. So you know, I like the idea of having conversations. I really I advise anybody to, if you're the type of person that like to express yourself and talk and just have conversation, start your own. It's, my thing is everybody should be at liberty to express themselves, some shape, form, or fashion. You know, I've been in, man, I've been doing public speaking, and I've done ministry, and I've been in business where I've had to do all type of Zoom, calls, and I had to build that etiquette about myself to, you know, uh, when I say etiquette, I mean as far as knowing how to be, uh, how to actually speak, how to actually, edify other people, how to introduce people, how to remember a speech, or just, just freestyle altogether. You know, I've just always been that type of person, man. So, like I said, this is just an intro to what I'm, trying to get accomplished. You know what I'm saying? I personally know a lot of interesting people. You know, me myself, I'm an interesting person myself. I do a lot of things. I got my hands in a lot of things. I like to learn. I like to uh, pick the brains of other people. I just like to know how things work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then the people I know very interesting people from all walks of life. So this is just my way of, interviewing them, getting some content out there. Podcasts ain't gotta always be about um celebrities. You know what I'm saying? People that got clout, people, that everybody know they got a name for themselves, this, that, and the other. It's interesting people out here that's doing things in the community. That's funny, up and coming comedians, that's athletes, that's musicians, that's teachers. You know what I'm saying? Community leaders. Whatever it is, or you just a, business people, people that can give advice on, just business. It's these smaller outlets that have the most information. You can't really just go to, expect to get all you can get from mainstream media. So I just wanted to kind of be a part of that movement, create a lane for myself, and push the things that I do. Everybody know me from the credit, being a credit guru. EliteCreditConnect.com. Go to my website, www.elitecreditconnect.com. Um, you know, Go through the website. You will see what I do. Go to my Facebook page, Eric E. Smith. And this will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can go to Universal Podcast, Universal Thought Podcast on YouTube. Check this episode out, man. But to be honest with you, I got some interesting people lined up. You know, s- with some interesting stories. You know, s- um, I'm very interested in people's stories. I love hearing, people's come up, and the things that they may have went through that, may have, just give me a different perspective on life. Your story is what's gonna sell you, right? If anybody understand like network marketing, sales, retail, stuff like that, where you have to get people to buy into what you're doing. The first thing they want to do is they want to know about you. People don't buy from you unless they like you. And if they like you, it's because they built a rapport with you and you was able to express yourself. A lot of times you got to bare your soul when it comes to trying to get people to, trust you. So, me personally, I've just always been a person that, um, I don't necessarily. I've always been a person that didn't like to talk about myself at all. Like, period. I didn't like to talk about myself because I really didn't think people listened. I really didn't think people actually like paid attention to, what you had going on. I didn't think people cared, to be honest with you. So I got to the point where I didn't talk about myself unless somebody actually like asked me. You know what I'm saying? And I still kind of do that. Yeah, I still actually do that. Over here looking for my phone. So I think it's important because I'm a real good listener. I'm a very good listener. Um, and so a lot of times you kind of want that same respect in a sense. You kind of want that same attention. You know, when somebody's attentive to you and they listening to you and they can repeat back what you said to them, it kind of draws you into them. It makes you, want to tell them more. So, when I find, when I'm around those type of people, I'm in my zone. I'm in a safe space. I feel like, you know, may not necessarily be all for the good. It may be some people that may have ulterior motives as to why they listen. But me, I take the punches, and I find out that later. But I just don't take too many people to be listening to you for the wrong reasons. But I know they out there, right? So again, I got a lot of stuff lined up, man. I got my brother. I'm gonna be interviewing him. He has a real interesting story. Um, and I got some other people, man. Some very interesting people lined up. Um, I'm more than likely gonna have our former Mayor Harrington on the show. Just kind of give perspectives on how Memphis was then compared to now. And just give some perspectives. My whole thing is a lot. If you're the type of person that watch podcasts, you will kind of see that most people that do podcasts, they like to cover like mainstream media. They like to cover celebrity lives and just stuff like that. And all they do is recycle the same information. Now this is not to and I am gonna cuss on my podcast. So not to shit on them because a lot of them I still listen to. I listen. I listen to things that kind of provoke thought. Um, and if I want to get some tea every now and then, there's a few podcasts I go to. So just to name a few, I listen to my boy 19 Keys. 19 Keys, he's a thought leader. You know what I'm saying? His podcast is you know um higher level conversation. You know, he's Muslim, but he's a thought leader. He speaks on a lot of things that's pertaining to the universe, pertaining to business, pertaining to a lot of things that's real thought provoking, man. And he has a lot of insight on a lot of things. Very smart brother. So I listen to him in his podcast. He has a lot of interesting guests, and just his perspective alone. Being a conscious, you know, guy, having style, and able to speak to, the I don't want to say the conscious community, but I want to say speak to open-minded people, um, that's kind of basically on the same level as him when it comes to thought. Um, and when I say thought, I mean like, um, awaken, aware, people that, I don't like to use the word woke because we done put a bad, stigma on that word. So as soon as we say it, we woke, we always do that. We always like use words as weapons when, we've seen it so much. At some point us as black people, we start getting tired of certain things like trends. It's almost like certain things with us go out of style, and then we just go on to the next thing and we start to demonize the thing that we very well, you know, paid attention to at one point in time. So now so I don't like to use that word, but I am. I'm a very woke, woke person, but I'm an open-minded person. I'm interested in a lot of things. I learned a lot of things. I like to understand how the world works. I think everybody should. But like I said, just to name a few. Let me see who else. I like to now. I like to listen to comedy too. So I listen to the 85 South Show. They actually they have a lot of like real guests, some good guests come on there, and they just funny brothers. You know what I'm saying? I watch them every day, literally every day. Carlos Miller, DC Young Flying Chico Bean. I love watching the 85 South Show. I listen to the Joe Budden podcast. My boy Big Loon, Big Loon podcast is I think it's called It's Up There podcast. Um, and I watch a lot of financial literacy podcasts where they give a lot of game, on how to, flip your money, capitalize on things that you can invest in, stuff like that. So, like I said, I wanted to jump in, and me myself, I've actually been on, a handful of podcasts myself, and I said, well, instead of waiting on my turn to get an interview, to because it's about content. People got to understand, content is what's gonna drive your business and put you out there and get you to get some eyes on you. So, we have a whole machine with this old internet thing. We might as well use it to our advantage, right? So that's what I said I'm gonna do. I run a business. I have my own company. I'm about to actually get into real estate. You know, I take my I take my real estate exam on the 4th of March, which is next Monday. So yeah, give it up for your boy. Um, Once that's in my pocket, man, I'm just creating lanes for myself because that's what I believe in. I believe in freedom. I believe in expression. I just believe in being able to move around and do the things that you want to do, especially if you got a love for it, because anything you love, you'll do it for free, right? But what better way to do something that you love and get paid for, right? So, this is just me getting my feet wet in the game. Like I said, it's just, I'm gonna have some interesting topics, some interesting conversations, and it's thought. I don't even want to call them topics. They're gonna be thought. That's why I call it universal thought because we could talk about topics all day, and then what people do is they kind of regurgitate the same things they heard somebody else say. But you know, talking to people that have their own opinion, they have their own mind, those are people that know themselves, like myself. When you know yourself, you don't care about what people think about what you think. You're not afraid to say it. You say it, and whoever likes it, like it. Whoever don't. But I promise you, the people that like it, they're gonna gravitate towards you. And then the chemistry and the energy. What happens is when everybody gets into their flow and everybody comes off with the expressions of the things that they think about and the things that the opinions that they have, everybody can be honest and real with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like people can really be, instead of agreeing with me all day, I want to know what you think. I want to know, what do you think about this, that, and the third? You know, what is it that what is it that makes you, think this way? Because the universe, I'm gonna tell you something, man. The universe will teach you things. If you really get in line, the universe will teach you things you didn't learn from a book. You didn't literally like it's there's things I know right now. I have no idea how I learned it. Have no idea, right? But it's just, that's how it works. So I got some real good I like the people that I'm around. I have a very good circle of people that I feel like are gonna be a real good benefit, you know what I'm saying, to the podcast. So just get ready, man. Just get ready. We about to definitely kick this off. I do want to see it grow. Let's see. 1 second. I'm actually recording. Sorry about that, y'all. So yeah, this is my first episode, very first episode. I don't have any co-hosts. It's just me. But again, you never know what'll happen in the future. It may be me here sitting with somebody, you know, you know, bouncing ideas off each other. And I know that's a good that's actually a good way to like operate in a podcast platform. It's good to have a co-host, really a few co-hosts. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it interesting. So, I know people ain't gonna want to, sit here and listen to me all day, but you know, I got some things to say. I know some people would love to hear. So, you know, I like I said, this is something. This is this is an expression, you know, that I feel like any and everybody should find their way to express themselves, whether it's through art, whether it's through broadcasting, whether it's through music, whether it's being on the radio, whether it's, going live. I actually like to see people's content because it shows me and tells me who you are. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a good idea of who you are, right? So, man, I want to thank people, just anybody in advance you know that are gonna support me in the future. To be honest with you, I wanna really shout out all my supporters that I've had within the last 3 to 4 years. Um, Ever since I've kind of been on this entrepreneurial route and building my business, building my brand. You get people that support you you never thought would support you. You just would never know. I mean, complete strangers, and they still riding and rocking with you. So I appreciate them. I really do. At the end of the day, I give back and reciprocate that same love and give it back to them, wholeheartedly, 100-fold, man. So, but I got a lot of stuff lined up. Definitely, man. Like I said, I'm a, I love how the brain works. I love to understand how people think. You know, how you think lets me know how to approach you, how to deal with you. I think, personally, with everything going on, we've gotten away from we've gotten away from how to deal with people, especially us with each other. It's like we speak the same language, but we don't speak the same language. So if you don't speak the same language as somebody, you need to understand how they think. How someone thinks um, is basically who they are. You don't want to pay too much attention to what people do and don't, pay too much attention to how they actually think, because what they do reflects what they think, and what they think reflects what they do. So that especially applies to relationships and, especially friendships and people that you deal with in business. If you're gonna build any type of relationship with people, you gotta know how they think. The chemistry of their thinking chemistry. Um, you know, uh, when people are trying to get like diagnosed, or you're trying to figure out what's wrong with somebody, I personally know that nothing just comes out of the blue. Most people are dealing with traumas that they've dealt with or they've had, buried on the inside of them for the longest. They never knew how to deal with it. They never had nobody to actually ask them the right questions. And they carrying around this burden, and they're expressing themselves in a bad way. They're out of their element. They're lashing out. They're doing things and saying things, um, and they don't understand why, right? When you understand how somebody thinks, the questions that you ask them should be things that they don't normally think about, right? One of the some of the best counselors are the ones that will tell you they don't know everything, and they literally have to sit and listen to you for about a good 2 weeks before they say anything. It's all about you. You have to be the one talking, so they'll know what to say or what to do in order to assess you. They don't know enough about you. When we get in conversations, what we do is, soon as you say something to us, we already got a remedy. We already got the answer for it. This what you need to do. You need. I told you what you need to do. You need to. But you, how you? So how you? So you didn't diagnose them, and all they did was told you, man, my mama tripping, or man, my gal tripping, or man, I don't know why this always happening to me. You need to just this, or you need to just that. I tell people all the time. Anytime you get around somebody, and the only thing they got to say is, if they tell me all you got to do is, that's the wrong person you need to talk to. Don't talk to that person. They have no idea. They repeating what somebody else said. They they they're telling you things they they think you want to hear. And they giving you the same, like, if I'm gonna give the same speech to everybody, treating everybody the same way is like, it's like, that's unfair, to be honest with you. Why would you give why would you talk and treat everybody the same? Why would you give everybody the same advice when everybody's different? Everybody literally needs their own special attention so that you will personally know who they are so that you don't treat them like any other person. And by way of doing that, you actually end up mistreating them. So universal thought, man. I appreciate again, I appreciate all my future supporters, people that's gonna actually be on the show. Again, I got some good things lined up. I got some awesome, people that I know that's gonna give some awesome perspective. We can kick ideas off each other, things they gonna want to promote. I got some events coming up, you know, and me personally, like I said, I'm just opening up another lane for myself so I can be able to push my brand. Um, and I really do feel like um, in order for somebody to take steps, you know, knowing the type of people that will be receptive to it, and then turn around knowing that you're gonna have people that really don't give a damn, really don't care. They gonna, it's gonna be some haters, you know. But my thing is, I've gotten so past knowing or giving a damn about whether or not somebody disapproves about what I do. It's ridiculous. Like that's a place of freedom when you really don't care what people think about you. When you leave that at the back seat, when you leave that behind, when you really think put those thoughts in the back of your mind and just focus on the people that do support you, it's like it's like an armor. It's like you can't be stopped. Like literally, because most of the things that stop us got has something to do with what we think about what somebody else thinks about us, right? So, you know, and that can take time. That can really take time for you to get past that point. It took a minute for me, but guess what? I don't care what it is. If I feel like I want to do it, I'm gonna do it, and I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I promise I don't care. So, um, but honestly though, real talk, and I know I'm just kind of rambling right now. I'm just like I said, I'm giving an intro to what I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna have going. I'm really trying. I'm kind of testing things out. I'm gonna consider this the first episode. Um, and I'm very excited to be honest with you. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about what this is gonna do. I'm excited to see how it's gonna grow. I'm excited to, I'm excited for the unknown. The good and the bad. I don't care what it is. When I make a decision, I'm already prepared for whatever it is that I, have to look forward to. It is what it is. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So this has been the first episode, episode one. Episode two is actually probably going to be in another week or so. So I'm more than likely I'm gonna try to drop an episode a week. We're gonna start off with one episode a week, and then we're gonna grow from there, right? And when I say we, I know it's just me right now, right? Everything is just me, but I'm gonna say we because I always like to speak, futuristic, speak those things, that are not as though they were. Yeah, I'm one of them type person. I'm one of them people that speak things to existence. I manifest things on a daily basis. And when I say manifest, I ain't talking about praying for something to fall out the sky. I'm talking about really I'm talking about activating the thought because everything that manifests, it started off as a thought first, right? A universal thought, vibration. You feel me? So whatever you think is supposed to manifest into words. Words is supposed to manifest into pen to the pad, writing it down, you know, uh, putting goals together, something you can actually see and repeat to yourself every day, and then put forth the action every day to get closer and closer toward that goal. Everything that you do, all the money that you have, things should be your money even supposed to be invested into that goal. You need to literally have the idea in your head that the money that I get, I need to set aside a portion of it to be able to invest in this idea that I have, right? Because if don't nobody got my back, I got my back. I need to make sure that I'm secure with myself and that I don't really actually need nobody help. And that's how I think. I want everything that I do, I want to make sure that I can do it by myself first. I don't want to have to need help. You know what I'm saying? If you think of something you need help off the top, you might as well like I'm not gonna say you shouldn't do it, but you should already have it in your mind to not set expectations for other people. It should be, let me do this. It's something I can do alone. It's something, it may take a minute because I have to do it alone, but it's something I can do alone. And then the people that's supposed to be around you, they will come because they see the consistency, they see the passion and the determination you have. Most people don't, they don't hate on what you have. No, nobody really cares about what you have. That's not what people have a disdain for you about. They have a, it, what you do is a reflection of them. They're looking and disappointed in the fact that they can't do that same thing. They don't have that sternness and that willpower to be able to get up at 4 and 5 in the morning to make steps to get further and closer to their dreams. Some people are lazy and they look at you doing it like, man, how they do that? That's what they don't like. They don't like the fact that you have this, you possess this and they don't. It's that hustle. It's the process that they don't like, but they want to be able to do it. So you may have somebody to hate on you, or you may inspire people. My whole thing is, again, I want to be able to inspire people to just do what it is that you want to do, man. There's so many people walking around, literally people walking around with this with this carbon copy mentality. The reason I say carbon copy is everybody wants to be the same. I'm talking about actual, like, I'm talking about gangsta ass niggas that's like, all of us are born with the talent. But what we end up doing is we get trapped in this, man. We get trapped in this rat race. All of us trying to be the same person. We're trying to be cool. You know, you know, these young dudes, they join gangs, they do all these things, but guess what? They all have a talent. A lot of them have, some of them can dance, some of them can draw, some of them can sing, but they don't operate in their capacity because they feel like they're gonna get teased, they're gonna get hazed, they're gonna get talked about, they gonna people gonna think they soft. All of